Now, welcome back to my Mommy Dearest series. Now, y'all liked the first one so much, I had to run it back. But we're gonna do something a little bit different today. So sit back, like this video, and let's get into it. Now, if you're new here, I'm Denise Brady. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist specializing in generational trauma and how that impacts us, okay? And now in this series, we focus on the not so mommy dearest mommies and the psychology around it. Now, over the weekend, this story broke about Erin Ward and having relations with a student. Now, to me, this has become ever so prevalent. More and more stories we're hearing about female teachers having inappropriate relationships with students. And I don't know what it is that now we're hearing more and more about it, more from the female dynamic than we were when I was growing up. It was more of a male situation, having more inappropriate and boundary issues with students. But now we see in relationships where women who have families, children of their own, are now seeking out relationships with their students. Now, let's put up the Carfax on this case right here. Erin Ward, a 45-year-old teacher in Omaha, Nebraska public schools, was arrested over the weekend for one count of first-degree essay by a school employee. She admitted to having relations with a teenage boy. She admitted to having relationships. Okay, now let's take it back a little bit because she admitted after the fact. Now, if you have not heard about this story, her and her student were found in a car at 3 a.m. on the side of the road. Okay, cops pulled up. Neither one of them had on clothes. Okay, and instead of stopping, rolling down the window, adhering to police knocking on them, I'm guessing fogged up windows, the child in this case proceeded to try and, I can get away. So he tried to zoom and ran into someone's front yard. And then once the car crashed, he got out and was running in just his underwear. Okay, now the teacher, Miss Ward, at this point was in the car trying to put her clothes back on. Okay, now I'm starting to wonder, what is it about these female dynamics, what's going on inside here that is having them think that it's okay to sleep with a student, they won't get caught? I'm wondering more about the dynamics. And so I looked a little bit more into Erin and her life. Now, this is a woman who is married to a man who works for the government. Surprise, surprise. He is some kind of nuclear securities officer high up in administration. Not only that, she got 3 kids, y'all. One of them is old enough to be going to college in the fall. And now there's a lot of information out there about her kids, but they're also minors and innocent victims in this case. So I am not going to go too much into their life, but she does have 3 children who seem to be well established in their own academia and where they're going in their future. Now, when it comes to their mama, the floor don't go all the way up. Okay, something in her decided, it's okay, I won't get caught. And I doubt this is the first time they have met up. It was probably just the first time they got caught. And more teachers are having these inappropriate relationships with male students. What is it about a male student that you feel like your husband is not giving to you? What is it about those needs inside of here that you see, in my classroom, this 13-year-old, this 17-year-old can give it to me? Now we're seeing 2 categories of these women having relationships with students. We see the 13, 14, 15 category, and then we also see the, I believe it's probably like 15 to 17 category. These 2 different gaps. And both of them are very, they don't have the maturity level. It's grooming, people. A lot of this is grooming. We saw it more, I feel like, in the 90s and early 2000s during my childhood, when girls would have their boyfriends pull up in the Mercedes, pick them up from high school. And back then, a lot of people thought, she got it going on. She's cool, she's popular, she getting picked up by her 25-year-old boyfriend, they going to dinner. But now we realize, she was being groomed, and that was not really cool. So I'm wondering now, with the role of social media, how that has impacted a lot of these relationship dynamics. And I feel like it's a power dynamic. A lot of these women, I feel like, probably do not have power in their own relationships, in their own lives, that they see the innocence of some of these students and feel like this is my opportunity to have power, control. To me, to be the one that's like inferior, to me, it's also about just, I'm unhappy over here, and this is an opportunity for me to live out, I don't know, some dreams, some inappropriate just stuff. And to know that more women are getting into relationships and preying on young boys, the innocence, oh, it's my teacher. You know, your friends are probably hyping you up, telling you that you're cool to be sleeping with your teacher, but it's not cool. It's another way of having inappropriate SA relationships. Okay, it's another form of SA. But we don't talk about it enough. We see the headlines, we see the information coming up, another teacher charged with having inappropriate relationships with the student. But what is going on there? And I want to know your thoughts. Why do you guys think that this is becoming more of a prevalent thing, where we're seeing more and more administrative staff, teachers? Erin was a substitute teacher. I wonder if this is her first time doing this with a particular student, or does she have a history? And what really is the background checks that they're doing on substitute teachers? Because it seems like it's just too easy for them to come in here, show up, exchange numbers with students, cross boundaries, and probably follow them on social media, look at their TikToks, a few likes here, a few likes there, a few comments, and then your friends are starting to see, oh, look at Miss Ward over there in Jacob's, comments. And then this starts to just start this inappropriate relationship. And I know some people are going to blame it on the parents. Where were the parents at? Why they know what their children were doing? And some of it is that, as a parent myself, there's only so much control you have over your children. I learned that early on, that my child has a mind of their own. I can prepare them, I can pour into them, but at the end of the day, I'm not with them 24/7. And sometimes they're going to make decisions that I don't agree with. Now, there are going to be some consequences, of course, but as much as you want to have control over your children, you can't have, to me, 100% control. Like, there are a lot of people who are helicopter parents, but that seems to pull children away from that dynamic. Some people come from very authoritative environments or household that may lead them more into streets, more trouble, more inappropriate relationships. So as a parent myself, I'm trying to figure out what is the balance between having control, being disciplined, without feeling like I'm taking away my child's autonomy, personality, dimming their light. It's really this like balance that's difficult at times. And as much as there are like books out there about parenting, every child is an individual. Every household is different. And sometimes what's in those books don't reflect children of color, the nuances of parenting. Okay, how many books are out there about parenting a child in the era of TikTok? Especially when your kid doesn't have social media, but the kids they go to school with have social media. There's just so many different things now. So I say that to say we can't quickly blame the parents. Okay, we have to look at all the dynamics. And because this person is a minor, their name has not been released. We don't know the background of them, but we know the background of Miss Erin. Now, I'm wondering about the dynamics of her relationship and the relationship she has with herself. For her to feel like this is a relationship that's okay. Now, looking at this mugshot, the same picture that we saw on that, that teacher ID is not the same picture in this mugshot. Okay, what do you guys think are some things that schools can put in place so this does not happen? Or is it really out of the control of schools? Do they have any say, or is there anything that they can do to really change or prevent this from happening? Because I think there's just so many things that they are not in control of, cannot have control over, that this is why some of these things happen. Of course, somebody's calling me. But I want to know your thoughts. Now, some of the repercussions of this is that whatever prison sentence, jail sentence she gets, do you think she'll really go to jail? Will she get a slap on the wrist? But the thing is, once she comes out, she's gonna have to sign up on that list. Y'all know that list I'm talking about? That SA list that will follow her for the rest of her life. Now, some people feel like because of the skin color, because of the race, that when these things happen, certain teachers, white versus black, might be treated very differently. But from the optics, it's like, to me, I'm seeing this happen more in non-black teachers, but that's just the media's perspective. So I want to know your thoughts. Who do you think and feel like are more of the offenders? And does that really matter? Does race really matter in this conversation? Wrong is wrong. Okay. And what are going to be the detrimental effects to the minor in this case? Not only the victim, but her kids. She has 3 kids, her husband. Now, her husband already then wiped clean his social media presence of anything that had her in it. Okay, he like, I'm done with you. I'm not losing my high security nuclear job over some mess with you. Okay. No, he not. So what do you guys think? What do you think psychologically is happening with these women that they feel like this is an opportunity that I'm going to take? I'm going to risk my whole life for this relationship. Okay? What are they really getting out of it? And the things that the minors will have to deal with the rest of their lives overcoming it. Because right now, it might sound like it's the cool thing to do. But in a couple of years, you might realize and recognize, oh, this was SA. How does that affect me now? How do I see myself in other relationships? Or do you think for boys, it might just be another, I don't know, notch on the belt, whatever they're calling it these days? But let me know your thoughts, because you know, we can get into it. Now, if you like this series, let me know your thoughts in the comments, like, subscribe, and I will see you next time.